La 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 la. How's it going, everybody? It's your boy Davey&Dann, and welcome back to the podcast. Today we got a bit of a special segment, maybe something new that we're going to be doing. We're going to test it out and see how it works. But basically what you're going to be watching today, this is going to be an episode of the podcast, but we're calling it the Everything is Broken solo show. So this podcast is called the Everything is Broken podcast. I'm Davey&Dann, and this is this solo show. Welcome. That's kind of what the intro I think is going to be. I just came up with this, today basically. So we're going to see how it goes. And yeah, obviously Dan is not here, but if we carry on with the solo shows, Dan's going to have his own segments. I'm going to have my own segments, and we're going to be going kind of back and forth, hopefully. It's a little bit harder for Dan because the setup here is at my house, and I live a good distance from him anyways. It's not like a super convenient thing for him to do. So we're going to try and work that in there, but see how it goes. All right, guys. So the first order of business that we're going to be going through today is a new format of the show. Not just this solo show bullshit, but a new way that we're going to be presenting the podcast. So kind of the idea is we love doing the 1 hour long podcast or plus if we can make it happen. But as far as YouTube goes and getting people to come out and stay tuned, it's pretty hard in the position that we are in because, we're not known. We don't have a consistent audience. People aren't coming out to watch us week after week. So the retention time of people coming out and watching it is, a fraction of what the full episode is and a fraction of what it could be. So we've been dabbling with the idea of going to about 20-some minute episodes and doing them more frequently throughout the week. So say we film a 1 hour episode, we can, kind of split it up into 3 episodes and then put them out a few days apart, a couple days apart, whatever we figure works best. So that's kind of what we're playing with the idea of doing that, and that'll probably be our next 3 episodes after this are going to be like that. So let me know if that works for you guys. Give it a shot. I think it'll be much better because we're not bombarding you with a whole 1 hour episode right off the hop. We're hitting you with a 20-minute episode, which is much more manageable than 1 hour. And then in a couple days, we'll hit you with another 20-minute episode, and we can still hit some funny bullshit and talk about some topics, but it's not going to be this long stretch where you have to kind of block out a section of time to listen to us. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing down the pipeline, at least for an episode or two, give it a shot, right? So that's kind of the updates of where the show is headed. So we're going to have the solo show like this, what you're watching right now. It's going to be, 15 minutes, 20 minutes as well. And then we're going to have the normal Everything is Broken podcast with Danny and Dave, or with Davey&Dann, or Dan and Davey, whatever you want to say. So we're looking forward to making changes. We're going to be filming an episode of the normal podcast coming up here this weekend, and hopefully I can get that out by early next week. If you follow the show, you know that I have a little bit more time on my hands now because I no longer have a full-time job for the time being anyways. I'm sure that's going to change coming up here soon. But for now, yeah, that's kind of where I'm sitting. So I'm going to just try and put out more and more content. And we're getting really big into putting out TikTok content, clipping up our episodes and putting them on TikTok. I enjoy doing that, and I think it kind of gives people a chance just to watch little bits. You don't have to watch a whole episode. Although we would love if you watch the whole episode. We're not going to force your hand into it. So if you go check out our TikTok, you can go and watch segments of the show, 1 minute, 2 minute episodes or clips. All right, guys. So I think we're going to run with that. I'm going to get into a few different little topics. I'm going to get into a few little topics here. Some things that, I don't know. I just wrote down some ideas. I figured just to get the ball rolling on this solo show, we can get into a few of these things. So here we go. So I just saw on the news, although I know we don't trust the news, I just saw an article about flip phones making a comeback. So that's kind of crazy. Never in my wildest dreams would I thought that flip phones would be coming back, because honestly, like, the utility is very basic. You only got phone calls and basic text messaging, but basically the article was saying that some of Gen Z, anyways, they are kind of caught up in the idea of, they're realizing that the phones and the apps and the social media and everything is kind of really fucking them up. It's fucking us up. It's fucking me up. So, some Gen Zers some Gen Zers are taking some action with that, and they're just buying basic flip phones just so they can have contact with their friends and family, make phone calls and text messages. I think that's really fucking cool. I love the idea. I would do the same, except I have a million excuses not to. So that's it. I would love to just be able to not have a whole bunch of different bullshit coming in and out all the time, 24/7 on my phone. It's really pretty fucking annoying. But unfortunately, I do a lot of a lot of the things I enjoy really benefit from the smartphone. So I don't know. I'm kind of caught in between the idea of just like abandoning having a smartphone and switching back myself. But I don't know. It's kind of like even this stuff, even doing the podcast and even doing the, my little online business, like having a smartphone makes everything so much easier, and it's, you're able to do so much more. So I think, also GPS is fucking handy to have. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to, I guess I could have multiple different devices again, like back in the day. I'd have a phone, I'd have to get an iPod, I'd have to get a fucking GPS and mount it onto my windshield and all that bullshit. So, I don't know, boys. That doesn't really fucking appeal to me to get all these devices back into my pockets when I have one device that does them all. But see, that's what I'm saying. I'm on the fence about this bullshit because, oh my God, it's so annoying having, I guess one solution is get the fuck off social media, just have pages for my business and for the podcast and stuff. But truthfully, I don't really use my personal social media so much. I'm mostly just using these pages for the podcast, so I can, for the podcast and my business, I like to read all the shit talking comments on TikTok, and I like to be able to promote my little business as well. So I know you can make an argument that I don't need a smartphone to do all that. For sure, you could, and I think a lot of it is just I do have some kind of dependency on the fucking thing, unfortunately. So I'm gonna have to, something I've been contemplating for a couple years now. But I don't have the balls to make the jump. So if I could grow a pair, that would be fantastic. Anybody has some balls they can lend me, I would love to try it out. What else we got? Probably the biggest news that has been out in the last few days is the Bud Light, the new Bud Light campaign. So if you haven't seen that, it's basically, hold on, should I get another light on here, boys? One sec. I feel like there's a shadow on my face. The new Bud Light campaign has been a total flop on their end, although, fuck, the light already went out. Anyways, the new Bud Light campaign has been a huge flop on their end. It's been pretty devastating to their brand and to their company in general. Anheuser-Busch has taken a good hit as well, which is the parent company of Bud Light. I just don't understand why the fuck they thought that was going to be a successful marketing campaign, because the demographic of people that are buying Bud Light are not the same kind of people that are, out here virtue signaling for the LGBTQ plus communities. I'm not really understanding the where they thought that was going to take them, because that's just the two just don't go hand in hand. So they got all these angry Bud Light drinkers and just people in general, because people do like to make a stink about things, even if they don't drink Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch brands. But the fact is, they were trying to Bud Light was trying to bring in a certain, a new crowd of people to try and hit a new target audience, which would have been young people, specifically people that are just turning 19. Or if you're in America, 21. And I can see from that angle where they were going with it, but you had to know it wasn't going to play out. So I think, I don't know. I don't know her name, but the VP of Bud Light, some kind of high position executive in Bud Light, kind of explained it in that way. But what they didn't realize is that the reason that if Bud Light isn't selling beer like they used to, the reason isn't the demographic. It's actually probably because, there's so many more options for beer out there now. You don't have to just buy the plain old domestics like you did back in the day. There's so many craft beers, and everybody's coming out with their own pseudo unique taste or flavor, and there's like unlimited brands of beer now. So we don't, there's not just 5 kinds of beers. Obviously, that kind of takes some of the market away from Anheuser-Busch, and maybe their beer doesn't sell like it used to. And maybe that's the reason why Bud Light has been, I don't know if they're struggling, but maybe they've noticed a dip in sales. Maybe that's the reason. It's also not like a beer that everybody credits for having the best flavor or the best ingredients. So, like, I think maybe that's probably closer to what's going on with Bud Light. But, yeah, go ahead and pander to a small audience of Bud Light drinkers, and this is the result. It's the classic thing. I feel like at some point companies are going to have to realize that, putting out these virtue signals isn't going to make them money. So, I don't know, boys. That's just my thoughts on it. I mean, I couldn't give a fuck about Bud Light or Anheuser-Busch in general. So, I drink beer, and I probably drink some of their products because they're a massive beer conglomerate. So I definitely do partake in probably some of their products. This podcast, we only really drink Coors Light, which I believe is a separate company, but it doesn't really fucking matter to us anyways. Here at the Everything is Broken podcast, we're going to continue to drink beer, and we're not going to let these things stop us. But I think it's just a good lesson to be learned for other companies as well. Before you go woke, figure out if you want to go broke first. All right, what else we got? I'm not a huge country guy. Never really have been. I frequented the country bars when I was a young man, and I picked up some songs here or there, and I do like a couple specific country artists. Kind of a Luke Combs kind of guy. The guy can make a fucking ballad. He can sing a song, so I do appreciate his music. But lately, Morgan Wallen released an album. It's like 30-some songs. It's long as fuck. It's full of bangers, though. I'm not going to lie. I've been putting that shit on repeat for the last couple weeks. And, yeah, it's fucking good, man. If you haven't checked out the album, go ahead and check it out. A lot of songs on there you might enjoy. So, I more or less recently gone on dating apps for the first time in, 4 years probably. Shit really hasn't changed since then. It's equally as fucked as it was back then. It's a hostile fucking environment. No, I'm just joking. But dating apps are shit, and they're terrible. And I hate that I'm on them, but I'm on Bumble and I'm on Hinge. And I'll tell you this much. I'm not some unique one-off, broke the mold kind of guy myself. I'm pretty average-looking white dude from Canada with probably many similar interests as other average-looking white dudes from Canada. But, the girls on these profiles, it's kind of crazy to me because I would say like 60 or plus % of the profiles are the identical person or damn near close. Like they all were like cut from the same mold, and it's fucking pretty annoying, honestly, because you're basically just swiping through the same profile over and over and over again. And it gets pretty old, I'll tell you that. I've yet to meet anybody, of course. I have yet to have a date from any of these dating apps, but I've been swiping, and maybe one day it'll happen. But yeah, man, the dating app, it's like, if you look at the information of dating apps, like what's the percentage of what, it's just flooded with about 1 million dudes that are just swiping on everything. And then you got a small percentage of girls that are just swiping on a small percentage of men. So it's just a big pit of blackness that your profile will probably get lost in and swipe through. Not that I haven't gotten matches. I've gotten quite a few matches, and that's not a brag because it's probably also not that hard. But it's funny. The funniest part about it is when I was on dating apps, I was on dating apps from 20 to, off and on from 20 to 27, right? And year after year, I would get off them like because I would have a girlfriend or I'd meet someone and I would get back on them because we'd break up. And then, the cycle is on and on and on and on and on. But now I'm back on the cycle. Every time I would get back on the dating apps, I would see there was always like a handful of girls that were always on those dating apps constantly. Like, no matter what point in my life I got on them, those girls would also be there and they would still be looking for love. Then I realized I am the male equivalent to those girls. Like, I'm the guy that you probably keep seeing for the last decade over and over again on Tinder. So, yeah, that kind of broke my heart a little bit to come to that conclusion that I'm doing the same shit that they're doing. Nobody loves me, and I'm going to be alone and forever on Tinder. So, guys, if you have any single cousins that are over the age of 18 and they're looking for an average-looking white dude from Canada to hitch, let me know. I could use some help over here. So please, 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 I'm begging you to give this old boy a chance at love. Give me a hand. Give me some help. But no, I try not to spend too much time on them because it's honestly just, like I said, it's a black hole of energy and time. And you'll talk to someone for, a day or 2 days. And, if you try to make the next step to go out with them, usually it's a flake or a ghost or something. Maybe it's me. Wait, hold on. Let me know in the comments. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm the problem. And maybe I'm the reason. Maybe this isn't even happening to anyone else. Maybe it's just happening to me. I'm just coming to this conclusion, to this realization right now that maybe I'm the problem. Why I can't meet anybody on dating apps. Maybe I'm doing it all wrong. If anybody has a course that they can recommend for me, I will take it. Because maybe I'm the one that needs help. So, but still, if you have any single cousins, let me know, boys. Because I'm looking to get married and have 14 kids. I feel like it's really hard to pull off jokes, even if they're my same shitty jokes that I always make. It's hard as fuck to pull off jokes when there's nobody to receive it. There's no one there to take the joke and tell me if it's funny or not. I'm just kind of staring into the eye of the camera, and I don't know. This is a lot harder than doing a duo show, but I probably could have picked up someone from downtown, someone or one of my neighbors or something. Like, come on and sit with me, have a conversation, and let's make this less of a piece of content. That's actually not a bad idea. I should just start meeting people downtown, welcoming them into my house, and having them talk to me on the podcast for 20, 25 minutes. Give them a little snack and some lemonade and send them on their way. Might be something I have to start doing. Because I don't know if I'm built to sit here alone. Let me know if I'm doing a terrible job. I'm probably doing a terrible job. That's okay though. Even right now, I can just feel like myself rambling on about nothing. If you don't know, I live in a pretty sketchy neighborhood, and it's not sketchy as in gang shit or it's organized crime or some shit like that. It's sketchy in the sense that everybody's on welfare, and there's a lot of crackheads walking around. It's sketchy in that way. So it's not like dangerous, but it's just kind of gross and shitty. And, my neighbors, I got a neighbor. He's a good guy. He owns a house. He rents to basically welfare cases. And, he tries to give him a hand, give him a helping hand by providing them with a decent place to live for, I think the rent's probably pretty fucking cheap. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, these people, man, it's insane all day. So I've been off work, right? So I'm home all day. And these people are also home all day. So it's just kind of a game of tag between them and I, opening the door and smoking. Like, they'll go out and have a dart, and then I'll pop my door out. And when I come out, they go back in. And when they, you know what I mean? So I saw I'll preface by saying these people already struggle to pay for their utilities and rent and blah blah blah. They're already struggling to do that. They got a couple kids. I think it's just the dad at this point. I don't know their full anthology. I don't know what the fuck's going on in their lives, but they always have people kind of coming in and out of that place. So But the other day, a delivery truck pulled up, and it was from Easy Home. And it was from Easy Home. And Easy Home is a place where you can like lease televisions and lease sofas, and like you're basically, it's basically you can rent you can lease a TV. It's a payment plan for like 100 weeks. It'll be like a fucking 3 or 4 year plan where you pay monthly and they gouge you with interest. But if you can't afford to buy something outright and you don't have credit cards because you're a bum or whatever reason, you can go there and you can you can lease these things. So, you can lease a television, right? And in 104 weeks it's yours. And you probably paid about 4 times the cost of that television. So, an Easy Home truck pulls up in front of my neighbor's house. Now, earlier I noticed that they had an old bed frame out front with a really shitty mattress out front in the garbage. So that means that they were throwing out a mattress for their kid, I would imagine. And they were upgrading. So when the Easy Home truck pulled up, I was like, oh, great. Like, these people have no idea that they're not going to get $1 of this lease. They're not going to get one single payment from these people. The mattress is going to be fucked. I'm sure you can't resell it. And these people don't care because they don't give a fuck about their credit, or they don't give a fuck about owing money or not paying people back. So I saw them deliver a brand new twin mattress, which is good because the kid probably appreciates having a real mattress. And all I could think about is, damn, dude, like, that's a free mattress for that guy. Like, he's not gonna he's not gonna pay for that thing. You might get 1 or 2 payments out of him, and then he's going to be screening your calls for the next 4 years. You can throw him into collections and you will never see a dime of that money. So the guy's not going to be working anytime soon. He's not going to have wages to garnish. I don't know if they garnish welfare checks, but maybe that's what happens for him. And it's just the kind of thing you knew that the reason they went with Easy Home is because they couldn't afford to buy a mattress outright, which is sad for the child. But at the same time, like, your dad is staying at home all day just smoking cigarettes out the front door. So I don't really have any sympathy for them, honestly, as harsh as that sounds. But alrighty, guys. So I've kind of been rambling on for the last 25, 30 minutes or whatever. And I really hope that this came out half decent. A couple little segments, couple little stories that I put out there for you. I don't know. We're going to find out how this works. But I think it'll get better as time goes, this solo show, I mean, because I would like to continue to put out content as I have the time to do so now, and I would like to do some solo show episodes like this again, and I'll probably maybe do another one coming up. But the real podcast episode will be coming out probably early next week, so that'll be with me and Dan and I again, and we're gonna do that. And again, I'll probably end up putting maybe 2 or 3 episodes out next week instead of just the one long episode, because we're gonna give that format a try. But let us know if you think that's gonna work. Throw some words down in the comment section for me. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this episode. This is episode number 1 of the Everything is Broken solo show. Today, starring Davey on Everything. Thank you so much for coming out and watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Big cheese, no design on my jacket. Work hard and I'm changing my bracket. Talk tough, we ain't hear that racket. Guys came in, you know how to stack it. Don't take it wrong, but I'ma need my ends though. I got tigers on my chest like Kenzo. Rail came, yeah, he putting that Benz though. Carol's here, man, you know he stay 10 toes. Big dog, man, you know I ain't worried. Bent up, so I'm talking real slurry. Got a blast, bro, I'm always in a hurry. Big Drake, shooting dirty like Curry. Take a yerky, ain't know he stay passed up. You don't catch him late night, do you ass up? No, real, how to put it E-class up. They like, X nigga, how you take the fast ride? 2018, it was me and Big